Hi, myself Vaishnavi, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Technology from SNS College of Engineering. Now let us see about the keys in dbms. So let us see the definition of key. A key is an attribute or set of attributes that uniquely identifies any record from the table. Purpose: key is used to uniquely identify and record or row of data from the table. It is also used to establish and identify relationships between tables. Now let us consider the example table, that is employee table. It has employee ID, name, Aadhaar number, email ID and department ID with 4 rows. So each row has an individual data like Aman, Neha, and then Neha has 2 phone numbers, and then again Neha and Vimal. So each data is entered in this table. Now see, for 2 there is Neha, and then again the 3 is coming with same name Neha. So a key is an attribute or set of attributes that uniquely identify any record. So here each and every record must be identified uniquely. So key is used to uniquely identify any record of row from a data from the table. It is also used to establish and identify relationship between 2 tables. So likewise, when it comes to here, the employee ID, name, Aadhaar number, email ID, department ID, each and everything in this, the employee ID is the unique key because the name can be repeated like Neha. Here we have a repetition of name, so we cannot say this as unique. Whereas the phone numbers can be a super key. It is also can be a primary key, but the numbers may vary. So email ID, these are all unique keys, and department ID, each and everything comes unique. So Aadhaar number, these are all come unique key because the only one person can have that number, none other person can have this. So this is said to be unique key. There are types of keys in dbms: super key, that is candidate key, primary key, alternate key, foreign key, and then composite key. A super key is a combination of all possible attributes that can uniquely identify the row in the given relation. So that is, as we saw before, the key which was unique, that is only identify the rows uniquely, is said to be a super key. So the attributes that can identify the row uniquely is said to be a super key, like Aadhaar number, email ID. That is each and every person can have only one that is related to only one person. So these are said to be a super key. So super key is a superset of a candidate key. A table can have many super keys. As we saw before, there are email, Aadhaar ID, department ID. These all said to be super keys. So a super key may have additional attributes that are needed for unique identify. Then let us consider the same table here: employee ID, name, Aadhaar, email ID, department ID. Here the super keys are employee ID, Aadhaar number, email ID, employee ID, Aadhaar number, email ID, employee ID, Aadhaar number, email ID, employee ID, name, employee ID, name, department ID. So employee ID, name, Aadhaar number, email ID, department ID. Likewise, we can have a unique identification of a row. So this is about super keys. So in this super key, email ID, Aadhaar number, and these are belongs to a super key because it is unique identification of a particular row. Email ID, Aadhaar number, and email ID, it belongs to only one person, which represents the particular person. So it is unique. So it is said to be a super keys. These 3 are the super keys in this table. Now let us see about the candidate key. A candidate key is an attribute or set of an attribute which can uniquely identify a tuple. Like a super key, the candidate key is also used to identify uniquely, but it has a set of attributes. A candidate key is a minimal super key or a super key with no redundant attributes. The attributes will not be redundant, that is, the attributes will not be repeated. It is called a minimal super key because we select a candidate key from a set of super key, such that the selected candidate key is a minimum attribute required to uniquely identify the table. So when it comes to candidate keys are defined as distinct set of attributes. Why we say the distinct set of attributes? Because it cannot have a repetition of attributes like phone number like that, first name like that. We cannot have a repeated set of attributes. So it is said to be a distinct set of attributes from which primary key can be selected. So here the employee ID and Aadhaar number, these are not a repeated set of key attributes. So here employee ID either Aadhaar number can be kept as a primary key. And also finally, candidate keys are not allowed to have null values. Null values means it cannot have empty. The candidate keys must have data. It cannot be empty. For example, if someone can give email ID or someone cannot give email ID, this key cannot be a candidate key. And then here employee ID, Aadhaar number, email ID, and then email ID, Aadhaar number. These are the combinations of candidate keys. Employee ID, Aadhaar number. So candidate keys are employee ID, Aadhaar number, and email ID. These three are said to be a candidate keys because it is unique for each and every person to identify the row. Whereas the name can repeat, whereas the department can repeat. See, Nehag is in same department, whereas the employee ID is different, Aadhaar is different, and email ID is different. So these three keys are unique, so it is said to be a candidate key.